I really like the fact that Rihanna plays a shapeshifter in this movie. That way, Chris can never find her. Now... Hi, I'm Tyler, and I'm here to let you know that Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets is no perfect movie. So Valerian is based on the French comic book series Valerian and Lorelei, and follows the two main characters played by Danae DeHaan and Cara Delevingne, who are both these intergalactic space cops, and they travel to Alpha, a space station where thousands of alien races live in harmony, and they start to uncover a government conspiracy surrounding a race of beings that had originally been thought to have been extinct. Like most Luc Besson movies, the best thing about Valerian is its visual look and style. The alien creatures in this movie all have really creative facial features and designs, and the backgrounds and the rest of the effects all look really well rendered and have photorealistic textures, especially this one alien race of people who, even though they all look and sound female, some of them are actually men, and when one of these characters addressed themselves as a male, the other characters would treat them as if they were any other male, and I really appreciated that one little feature. And the action sequences are also really exciting and creative due to its use of setting and use of technology, because the opening fight sequence actually features some gadgets that can help Valerian travel in between dimensions or Lorelei take over someone's body through virtual reality, and it was all really fun to watch, and again, the effects from them were really visually pleasing. Now, Valerian and Lorelei was a comic book that debuted in 1967, and George Lucas has listed this comic as being one of his main influences in writing Star Wars, and you can really see that in this movie. A lot of the locations in Alpha feel very similar to the canteen sequence in A New Hope, where they're just showing off the creatures' designs and the way they behave. There's one chase in the middle of the movie where the camera angles and the spacecraft reminded me a lot of some of the Millennium Falcon chases, and some of the more boring political exposition that's never referenced again afterwards reminded me a lot of Phantom Menace in particular. And out of all the performances in this movie, the two I enjoyed the most were Cara Delevingne and Rihanna. As Lorelei Delevingne is entertaining as this snarky yet resourceful woman who does take her orders more seriously than Valerian, but at the same time, she's not afraid to call out her superiors for holding her back from something important or from keeping secrets from her. And while she is occasionally a damsel, she does rescue Valerian on more than one occasion, so he does need her as much as she does need him. And Rihanna's character has some really cool shape-shifting powers that are pretty impressively well rendered. And she had a nice personality where she feels as if, because of her powers, she doesn't have much of an individual identity, which is nothing we haven't seen before with shape-shifting characters, but it is her performance that really makes us care about what happens to her in the end. A lot of people seem to really like Danae DeHaan as an actor, but I really don't know why, to be honest. I mean, he's okay in this movie, but not only can his character be pretty obnoxious in the fact that he is an irresponsible guy, and womanizing to the point where he keeps pictures of all the women he slept with, which are quite a few. But his voice just sounded really flat and emotionless, and I get that vibe from him in all the movies that he's been in. In fact, after I walked out of the theater after seeing this movie, my best friend looked at me and went, "Why was he doing a Batman voice the whole time?" And I just went, that is his normal voice. And there are other actors like Clive Owen who really don't look like they want to be there, and they just play typical stock side characters. And in just 5 minutes, Ethan Hawke gave such an over-the-top performance that he completely embarrasses himself as this pimp, I guess, who, as I was watching him, I just kept thinking, he looks and acts like a gay Freddy Krueger. That was seriously the vibe I got from his costume and just through his performance. He was just so over the top in how, I guess, psychopathic he was supposed to be, and it just didn't work. Now, I knew going into this movie that the visuals would be focused on more than the story. I was aware of that. That being said, I didn't think the story was just going to knock off movies like Avatar or Atlantis, where The movie is just about a group of people who have been taken advantage of over racial and environmental factors, and of course the villains are angry, bland white men who have a lot of political power, and it follows the exact trend of how at first you think the alien creatures or native aliens, whatever you want to call them, are at first seemingly threatening, but then it turns out they were right the whole time. They were just doing whatever they can to survive. And the villains are just so close-minded that they call the aliens savages. In fact, he even calls them savages right to their faces. It is that cliched. And there's even a subplot about how Valerian and Lorelei's relationship is in trouble. And I get it. Valerian is an irresponsible man. But it drove me insane over how many times Lorelei constantly misinterpreted what he was saying. I mean, at one point he says that he would do anything to help her in a sincere, polite tone, yet she still tried to smack the crap out of him, and I don't get that. Like, he wasn't saying, "Don't worry, baby, I'll do anything to help you." That right there, that deserves a kick in the balls, I'll give it that. But I mean, when someone says to you, "You have nothing to worry about, I'll help you in any way, shape, or form," you take that as a compliment, and she's smart enough to know that. At least I thought she was anyways. Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets does have some top-notch visual effects, some creative alien atmosphere, and some pretty fun action sequences. But a lot of the performances feel as if they're on autopilot. The story is as formulaic as it gets, and some of the character choices in regards to their personalities felt a little bit too forced for me. And for that reason, I'm going to give Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets a 2.5 out of 5. Guys, thanks as always for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, check out my other reviews at NoPerfectMovie.com. And once again, thank you all very much for watching. Take care.